Do it here. Are you on?
Good evening, everybody. Sema's not there. There were two people who asked if they could join this class and get the recording of week 1, and we set that up. And I see one of those two people here. The way this is going to work tonight is that I'm going to tune in, and then I'm going to lead maybe the first 10 minutes. And then Gene will take over from there. And he and I are sharing a computer. So I will just slide over and he will slide in here.
Okay. You're tuned.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting because there's quite a few people.
Pen.
I'm just kind of waiting. I'll wait one more minute and then start. And Sema, I see that you're here, and that's good that you managed to get all the links and everything like that. So that's good. There was one other person who requested the information, and I don't see her yet, but I did see that that information went out to her. So a few more people came on in the last couple of minutes. So I'm just going to say again that I'm going to do the tune in, and we're sharing a computer here tonight. So Gene is going to use the same computer that I'm using, the same screen. So I'm going to tune in and do the first 10 minutes of exercise, and then I'm going to slide over and he's going to slide in here. And we are recording this, so tomorrow you'll get a link from Cindy, and so you'll be able to have it. I think it's for a week or 10 days, something like that. Okay, let's tune in. Bring your palms together. The tune in that I usually do is Om Namo Gurudev Namo. But lately I've been saying to people, it isn't a matter of whether you say certain words or you feel that those words connect you in some certain way or something like that. It isn't that. It's whether or not the opportunity is to drop into a space where you become available to your inner self, and you become available to the information and the experience. So whether you're going to use certain words or whether you're going to do it by breathing, the important thing is to remember that yoga uses form, but it's very, very clear that the idea, whether you're talking about the Tao or whatever you're talking about, the idea is to go beyond form. So go into your own experience, your own sense of what tuning in, of dropping into a space means to you. So I'm going to just lead it silently. I am going to use Om Namo Gurudev Namo because I use those words, but the experience that I'm creating for myself is dropping in. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So inhale deeply and exhale. Inhale again deeply. Exhale. Inhale and fill your chest with breath. Take in a little bit more breath. And exhale. And inhale. And tune in to yourself, tune in out loud, tune in whatever way that you choose to do it. We'll leave 1.5 minutes for this. Inhale and exhale. Release your hands if you have your hands in a clasp together. And before we start to do these 2 short exercises, I just want to say one thing, and that is that quantum science is crystal clear. There are only 100 or 200 of these scientists in the world, but they're crystal clear. And they're the leading edge of physics. And what they're clear about, what I want to say that they're clear about, is that you can communicate to every particle of every cell in your body. So I'm inviting you in this next section here, 10 minutes, to, I'm suggesting to you a possibility, because this is what has been occurring to me lately, is to, as it were, say to my body, where is it that I can communicate with you? So that has revealed itself as one particular point in my body. Lately, it's been in the center of my chest. So you may have your own way of experiencing this that may involve some particular part of your body or may not. So just as we proceed here, let yourself be in a communication with your body, with the cells and particles in your body, and let your body be in communication with you. I'm going to sit back. So sitting as you are in easy pose, put your hands on your knees and then begin Sufi grind. So go in one direction. We'll eventually go in the other direction. So for now, you're just going in one direction. And as you move on your hips, as you move your lower spine, as you move your belly, then breathe. And breathe in your own way. You may want to breathe one time, one inhale and exhale per rotation. You may want to make multiple rotations. It doesn't make any difference. Do it in your own way and do it so that you're bringing the breath into your body and letting your body be drenched the inner part of your body be drenched in prana, that energy that the breath brings. Feel the breath, feel the prana communicating with your cells. And as you breathe in, really breathe very, very deeply, much more deeply than you usually do. And now break the form. I know you're circling around, but now if you want to, you can tip your right shoulder up and your left shoulder down and really breathe into all the parts of your left lung, the top, the middle, the bottom. Breathe so that your belly expands because you're pushing your diaphragm down with your lung. Breathe into your neck, breathe into your brain. Let your breath communicate with your brain cells. And breathe in an extraordinary amount of breath. And when you exhale, exhale an extraordinary amount of breath. You can hear me coughing a little bit, and that's what happens when I do this exercise sometimes, as parts of my body are opening up that haven't been so open. And then come to center and then begin circling in the other way. Digestion begins with digesting life. And the body that you need to digest life, to be able to face life and smile, face everything that's happening with a smile, means having an open body, an open chest, an open lungs, open diaphragm, open belly, open second brain. So breathe and breathe into your belly. And this is something you can do. You don't have to be doing yoga to do this. You can be sitting in your car and doing this. You can be walking down the street and doing this. And now break the form so that you are just moving in your own way to open your body as you sense it. Perhaps tipping your right shoulder up, your left shoulder down, and exposing your right lung and really fully breathing in. Take 4 or 5 breaths in to fill your right lung completely up. Let the breath go all the way up into your shoulder and exhale.
Elliot, please pick that up. Elliot.
And inhale to center. And exhale. And I'm turning this over to Jean.
Hello again, back in the spot. It's good to see you. I see a few people on the top of the screen here. Today we'll be working with the spleen meridian, and the spleen meridian relates to the digestion of food and just the digestion of things that come into our lives. And we're going to be looking at the spleen meridian right now. If you have the chart, I want to have you get a visual idea of where the spleen meridian is, because I want to be able to refer to this when we talk about the yoga. It's the front of the body, not the back. And if you look, there's an SP. It goes into inside of the thigh and up into the groin area. Let me see if I can point to it through here. SP. And that's spleen. And just look at the areas we'll be most working with. The first exercise, especially when we're working with the one that goes into the inside of the thigh. And then later on we'll be working on the groin area. You know, it goes into the crease of the groin right there on the outside. and into the belly and abdomen. And we'll be working with another meridian, which is another earth meridian, earth element meridian, and that's a stomach meridian. And we'll be working with that because they're both digestive organs, and we're going to be working with them both. So look at those two meridians, get a mind's eye of where they are. So we can, when I refer to them, you can keep that chart with you if you lose focus of that.
Question.
I know.
Is that for both sides, the meridian on both
Oh, I'm
sides?
sorry, I got distracted there. Okay, take a look at that and get your focus on that.
For the meridians on both sides of the body?
We'll go into the, okay, take a great look at it and follow it up into the belly. We won't go any farther up than the belly. Spleen is the organ of digestion, and that's it takes the food in. You know, the spleen is the organ of digestion. It's not actually an organ; it's a function. And the spleen is not actually the spleen. The spleen is the actual spleen is a organ that produces white blood cells, and so it's kind of a misnomer in Chinese medicine that the spleen is not really the spleen. The spleen is the function of digestion. And it includes the stomach, the esophagus, the stomach, even the mouth. You know, the mouth. When we chew food, we mix saliva with the food, and that's amylase. That's a enzyme that starts to break down different types of food, and it's the first stage of the process of nutritional feeding. The stomach, the spleen is a very, very important one because it produces the enzymes that break down most of the foods we have, we take in. The other organs that break down foods are the gallbladder, the liver produces bile, and then the gallbladder distributes the bile, and that breaks down fats. Okay. Let's start thinking about the yoga. The first yoga exercise we're going to be doing is called frog pose. You start with standing up, and you place the heels together, and the feet will be going out to the side at a 45-degree angle. And you come down into a squatting position with the fingertips on the floor between the knees. So you squat right down. If you can't do this, do the best you can. Squat down, put the fingertips between the knees on the floor, and you're squatting down. You try to be up on the balls of your feet as much as possible. This is a position you want to remain throughout this exercise. You're going to inhale, you raise up, you keep the fingertips on the floor, you raise up your hips so your head is down and your hips are up and your legs are straight. This inhale position. Exhale, you come back down again in that squatting position. So you keep repeating this. Inhale up and exhale down. This is frog. This is working on that spleen meridian that runs in the inner thigh and strengthens that meridian. The spleen meridian that runs through the thigh is related to the strength of the thigh, of the legs. The spleen is responsible for the strength of the limbs and the strength of the body. So the energy and strength of the body, the physical strength, and also endurance. Keep going. Inhale up, exhale down. We'll do this for a couple minutes. Like I say, do the best you can. You're bending down, touching the fingertips of the floor. Good. So if you strengthen the legs, because the legs relate to the strength of the spleen, you're actually strengthening the digestion too. Okay, when you last few times, and then inhale up, exhale, and come sitting down in cross-legged position. The first series we'll do, we do 2 series. The first series we'll do, they're called Kriyas. The series are called Kriyas. It's called Nabi Kriya. And we're doing Nabi Kriya because the Nabi is called the navel Kriya. Nabi means navel. And in the old Indian yoga traditions, they consider the navel as the center of digestion, of the digestive energy. And that's also true in Chinese medicine and acupuncture, because it's all these meridians related to digestion go through that area and intersect with that area. So if the belly is strong and the navel is strong, then the digestion is strong. So we're going to attempt to strengthen that. Also, we would be doing things called leg lifts. Lifting the legs, and the hip flexors are the muscles that'll be engaged, and all the nerves and meridians that run through that hip flexor are going to be engaged. And that's where the spleen meridian runs through, right through that groin area. And if you strengthen that area, we strengthen the spleen or the digestion. The first exercise is called single leg lifts. We're going to be doing one leg up to 90 degrees. We'll start with the left, lie on your back. So we start with lying on our back. Lie on your back, have your feet facing towards me. So I'll be doing a lot of lying down exercises from now. So you want to adjust your camera to see you as you're lying down. Right at the end, we'll be doing a standing one, but you don't need to be seen in that one. It's a very simple one. So the first one, you put your legs together, your heels are together, palms are facing down by your side. You raise the left leg up to 90 degrees and back down, exhale down. Inhale, right leg up, exhale down. Inhale, left leg up, exhale down, and continue. Try to point the toes so it's projected forward. So the foot is flexed down, the toes is straight. If you have any difficulties with the back, you can put your hands face down on the lower part of your buttocks, underneath the buttocks. That'll align your back, your hips, so your back is not stressed, and support the back. Inhale left up and exhale down. Inhale right up, exhale down, and continue. We're engaging that groin area and the belly muscles and the meridians that go through that area, the spleen and the stomach. And whenever I say spleen, I really mean digestion, the digestive energy. We'll be doing this for another little more than a minute more to go. Good. These exercises are, tend to be, challenging. Do the best you can. And if you need to stop, just, because you're just, fatigued, only stop as long as you need to and then come back into the exercise. So don't really give up. Just, recuperate and then come back in. But if you can keep going, that's good. That's the ideal. Now inhale, try to pull up both legs up to 90 degrees if you can. And hold it up 90 degrees, hold your breath, hold the position. And then slowly exhale your legs down and relax with your palms facing up. The legs are straight out in corpse pose. Legs are slightly spread, palms are facing up. That's very good. The spleen is in charge of absorption and distribution of food. And what I mean by that is that the food is taken in through the mouth and through the esophagus down to the belly. And what happens after that is what determines your energy, you know, the viability of your blood, your immune system, your bone, your tissue, you know, how healthy those things are. Because the food has to be processed, or you know, it's absorbed and then it's processed and distributed through the system in all the ways it should be, like, you know, the blood, the bone. It has to go to all these areas, you know, so it has to take a power to all these elements and distribute them to where they need to go. And that's the role of digestion. So a good digestion means you're going to be healthy. You know, a digestion that's not efficient means that you're not going to have strength in your body. You're not going to have, you know, good muscle tone. You're not going to have, you know, a good immune system. All these things are dependent on the digestion. In Chinese medicine, there's a thing called the 5 elements. And the 5 elements, we're actually doing the 5 elements in this course. The 5 elements were, when they were first presented, they were presented in, you know, like a square, and 4 elements in each corner. And in the center, there's one center point, and that was the spleen, because the spleen and the digestion was the most important. The reason it was important is because the spleen was in charge of everything that's given to you after birth. And it's called postnatal chi, your postnatal energy, your postnatal, you know, what you can do yourself to create a healthier system. And what you eat is what creates that postnatal chi, you know, and how the digestion works creates that postnatal chi. So that's something you're in control of. Before, it's your parents' DNA and all that determines, you know, all these things that you have no control over. What you do have control over is what you put in your mouth, and what experiences you allow in your life. You know, that's another way of looking at it, you know, what you feed yourself, both in experiences and in food and the people you associate with, and all those things are things you have control over. And so that's the role of the spleen in the Chinese medicine perspective is what we can do ourselves to make ourselves healthy. And you know, after we're born, you know, before we're born, and when we're, you know, coming out, we're like, okay, this is just our parents giving us this, you know, this you know, predetermined, you know, DNA factor, and that's called prenatal chi. So there's prenatal chi and postnatal chi. Postnatal chi is what we get from our own actions, you know, what we can do, and that actually can include yoga, because yoga is something we can feed chi to our system. You know, that's postnatal chi. That's what we do ourselves. We're actively doing it. Acupuncture is under that too, and Tai Chi and Qigong and all that. So they're all part of this postnatal chi, what we actually do and how we feed ourselves. It's very important in Chinese medicine. It's the most important thing as far as how we become healthy and stay healthy. So the next exercise, I'm always challenged by this one, but just a side note, my mother lived to be 100, and I always try to notice the things that caused her to live that long. And one thing she did every day, she did leg lifts. You know, she did 100 of them every day. I mean, I was amazed. You know, people that knew her just, you know, came by to visit her. She'd show off and said, I'm going to do these leg lifts. And she lived to be 100. So maybe there's something to this, that she was able to live that long because she was able to build that digestive chi, that postnatal chi, in such a strong way that she lived to be 100. That's my theory. So this one, ideally, I'm going to give you the ideal, and I'm going to give you the secondary. Ideally, you want to have your arms facing straight up. You've been lying on your back, arms facing straight up, parallel to each other. So they're perpendicular to the floor, and the palms are facing each other. That's the ideal. Now, if you have any compromised back issues, you want to place like we did before, place the hands underneath the buttocks, the lower part of the buttocks facing down. So they're underneath the buttocks facing down at the lower part. So you're giving support to your lower spine and not causing it to flex when you're lifting legs. Once you've done this, once you've set yourself in that position, you want to lift both legs up to 90 degrees. And you do that and inhale, exhale down. Try to keep your legs straight. And the best way to keep your legs straight is put pressure on the thigh muscles. So you concentrate energy in the thigh muscles. This will straighten the knees. So you want to straighten the knees. You want to lift up straight and exhale down. Inhale up, 90 degrees, exhale down. The arms are to 90 degrees always, and the legs come up to 90 degrees. Inhale up, and you can go slow, that's fine. Slow is actually better. It really isolates those muscles and those meridians and charges those meridians. So do it as fast or slow as you can. If you need to take a break and then come back into it. We'll be doing this for a little while, so be patient with yourself. One thing I love about yoga, it's non-competitive. You're doing this for you, not for anybody else. There are some forms of yoga where they become competitive, but that's just nonsense. Inhale up, exhale down, big breaths. Always breathe through your nose, unless your nose is blocked. So imagine that 90-year-old woman doing this 100 times all in a row. She did it every day. Now inhale up to 90 degrees and hold the breath, hold it, and then exhale, lock, let the legs come down and relax. So in my practice, I make a mental note of what is the main issues that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, and what's the number one diagnosis I get. There's people come in for backaches and all that. Right? I diagnose everything. I do, the whole system, to get a good perspective of what is happening. And the number one thing of all of them, there's hundreds and hundreds of different diagnoses, is spleen qi deficiency. The energy of the spleen is low. And that's because our culture is designed to have a bad diet or not a healthy diet. Antibiotics is one of the factors. Stress is a huge factor that degenerates and degrades the digestion and lowers the energy of the digestion. Sugar is huge. I mean, we joke when I get with my acupuncture therapist friends, we joke about, what the meaning of sugar is. And we say, if we can get our people off sugar, our patients off sugar, we'll be out of business. That's how important it is. We call it white death. It's the most pernicious food as far as health issues that of any. There's nothing else more damaging than sugar. And people tend to do too much, way too much. Okay, the next exercise we're going to, this is one I'd really like for the spleen and digestion. I think it's very definitive. And we started with the arms out to the side, palms facing up. So it's like the crucifixion kind of stance, And the legs are on the floor for now. And what we'd be doing, I can just tell you right now, just to explain it, way up, and you know, like we're doing those leg lifts, they're 3/4 way up. That's the inhale position. The arms are out, legs are up straight to 60 degrees, and they're together. And then when you exhale, you bring the knees into the chest and you wrap your arms around the knees. That's the exhale position. So inhale, the arms come out, and the legs are 60 degrees. Exhale, wrap the arms around the legs and pull the knees in towards. Inhale and exhale, and try to pull those knees in tightly to the belly. This is massaging the digestive system and putting pressure on those meridians in the belly. And then the groin is being compressed, and that's putting pressure on the meridians in the groin, and also the legs. So and also when we're stretching the stomach meridian and leg, right below the kneecap on the shin, on the outside of the shin, there is a point called stomach 36. And this is called the 3-mile point. This is a point that if you needle it, supposedly if you on a long journey, you can walk 3 extra miles because it gives you so much more energy. So it's an energy point. And it works on the energy of the spleen, the stomach and spleen, that chi, that energy. There's very few people I don't put a needle in with this point because it's so important for digestion. So we're stretching that, we're compressing that and stretching that stomach 36. We're compressing the meridians for stomach and spleen in the belly and the hips. We're bringing breath in there to energize that area. Breathing powerfully. You can feel it. Just notice how you feel when you come in and when you go out. You can feel how these meridians and these areas of the body are being affected and energized. Great. You're doing great. And if, like I say, if you need to take a break and come back in. This series is the exercise is a little longer than usual, but so 60 degrees is almost all the way up, but not quite. Just a little while longer. You're doing great. Your body will love you. You might have a little bit of a sore belly tomorrow, but that's part of the thing. Lactic acid. A few more times. Keep it up. You're doing great. Inhale, legs come out, arms out to the side. Inhale, 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 the position, and we're holding that position, and we're exhaling and lowering the legs. And come about lying down into corpse pose, totally relax. Now notice how you feel in the belly, the hips, the legs, any sensation that you have. Become present with that. So last week we talked about the emotional aspects of the heart, and every organ system has emotional issues, or emotional concerns, or things that relate to the organ in an emotional way. When the spleen and pancreas are healthy, you become decisive and effective and very organized. And able to achieve tasks because you can see things clearly. When the spleen and pancreas is weak and not functioning well, there's a tendency to accumulate fluids, in the system, and the fluids are, like a moisture, but kind of opaque moisture in the system. And that opaqueness creates a difficulty in getting a good vision of what you need to do. And from that, you become not organized and disorganized and not able to achieve tasks because there's a difficulty in remaining organized and seeing things clearly. So when that happens over time, what the emotional effect is control. You can't organize things. You have so many things to do, but you can't get them done because there's your mental organization is just not happening. So the idea is that when that happens, you start to overthink, think too much, overanalyze, ruminate, go over things over and over again, and to worry, to have this emotion of worry is a factor in your life that holds you back. So that's why we're doing it. We're trying to get a healthy digestion so it affects you both physically in a positive way and also emotionally and mentally. The next exercise is one I like a lot because it's fun for me to do. You take your right leg and you pull it as close to your abdomen as you can, pull it in tight, and the left leg is out. So you grab that right knee, pull in that leg into okay, got it, I see. And with the other leg, the left leg, you can lift up your leg to 90 degrees and you're gonna lower it very fast. So inhale up and exhale down. And this is really isolating those meridians in the hip and groin and in the thigh. Try to keep your legs straight, toes pointed, and fast, 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 as fast as you can. When you pull a knee in tightly, it'll make it a little easier. Inhale up, exhale down, very fast. We'll do this for 1 minute. We're already halfway there, actually. So 20 more seconds. And then we'll switch to the other side. What we'll do is switch the other side and we'll go back and forth a few times. A minute each. Good. Keep up. Fast, fast, fast. Fast as you can. Rapid. This is generating chi, energy, building heat in the digestion. The spleen loves heat. It hates cold, warmth. Now switch legs and start on the other side. Fast, fast, fast. So you should be lifting the right leg at this point. The left knee is pulled in. Great. You're doing wonderfully. Now inhale deep and switch legs again. We'll go back to the original. Fast, fast, fast. Try to maintain that pulling in with the other leg. Pull in, consciously pull in. Great. We're generating so much energy. Just a few more seconds and we'll switch again. One last time, we'll switch. Switch your legs, do the opposite side now. Last time. We're almost there, about 20 more seconds. Five more seconds. Now inhale and bring both knees to the chest and pull the knees in. Hold the breath in. Pull the knees in. Just for a little while. And then exhale, keep that position, just pull it, just relax in a relaxed way, just keep those knees in there. And this will actually help the groin area that we've been working to readjust. Just relax in this position. Not straining, but relaxed. Keep the knees in but relaxed. So you can relax down and palms by your side and relax. When the spleen and the digestion is healthy, your legs tend to be strong and also nimble. When the spleen is weak, the legs tend to feel heavy and weighted and difficult to move around and navigate. Because the spleen, when it's out of balance, tends to put on heaviness and moisture so that it feels heavy. So if you feel nimble, chances are your spleen is very good, very healthy. Light in your body, moving gracefully through the world, that's a healthy spleen. If you feel like you're dragging your body through the world, that's an unhealthy spleen. The final exercise of this particular series is when we'll be coming standing up, and just come slowly standing up. Don't move fast. Make a smooth transition. Slowly stand up. And this is going to be forward bends. This is very commonly used exercise. You put the middle and you raise your arms up so they're up, straight up, and then slowly tilt the hips back just a little bit, and also your torso, your chest. So there's a little bit of stretch in the abdomen area and a little bit of a tension in the abdomen area. When you exhale, you're going to be exhaling forward. You lead with your chest and you bend at the hips. So you're not bending at the back. You're just letting your whole body in one unit come down and go as close to the floor as you can with your fingertips. And then you slowly come back up to standing and then slightly backwards, just slightly, very, very slightly. And then repeat this, come back down forward, touch your fingertips to the floor, and then inhale up, back. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you come forward. And when you come forward, you want to push the belly, the air out of your belly in like a forceful push out. This will massage those meridians in the belly and massage the internal organs, the organs of digestion. So inhale, push the belly out when you come down. And try to keep your legs straight, bend at the hips. You don't have to come all the way down. You just have to make sure your body's in one unit when you come down. So arms united with your body, so they're not the arms aren't falling down. They're united with the body. One kind of a one plank. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Yoga should be all about angles, that all the angles are right. If the angles are not right, you can hurt yourself. So you want to make sure you're not bending at the hip, at the back, the spine. You're bending at the hips. Hips are the ones that get engaged. And you exhale, you push that air out of the belly. You're massaging those internal organs. Good. While longer. Now slowly comes up in a standing position and hold the breath, suspend the breath, all the way up, hold the breath up, 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 stay there. And then slowly exhale, drop your arms to the side. And then come lying on your back. We'll do a little relaxation between the series. So there's a yin and yang. Remember the yin and yang. The yin is the passive and the yang is the active. So between the active, you want to do some passive relaxation to let the energy circulate through the system and activate all these meridians and energy centers. The blood flows, the energy flows, and the nerves are able to flow freely. Palms are facing up. It's what we call true anatomical position, where your palms are up, your feet are slightly spread, and you're relaxed. Totally relaxed. Let everything go. You can actually feel the weight of your body into the floor as you relax into the floor. And relax, relax, relax.
add in. Uh-huh. They're laying down in Shavasana.
Now slowly bring yourself back. Start by rotating your wrists around in circles and your ankles around in circles to get the circulation back in and bring yourself back. And after that, you can rub your palms together and your soles, your feet together to put a little heat in your palms and your soles. This activates the meridians, bring you back aware. And then rock back and forth till you come sitting up into easy pose. And I'll just explain the first exercise to you. The first exercise is called stretch pose, and it's really all about the belly, the navel point. And remember, the navel point in yoga, it relates to digestion. So a strong navel point means strong digestion, strong assimilation and distribution of everything, not only food, but the experiences. Assimilation and distribution, the two things you should remember from digestion. You assimilate it. It goes in, it's broken down. Those enzymes break it down, and then it's distributed. All these amazing things that happen within the body, amazing, miraculous things. And you take these tiny little elements, calcium, magnesium, the different amino acids from the proteins, the fat molecules, they're all broken down. And then they're taken to where they're supposed to go, exactly where they're supposed to go. And this is the distribution part. So you assimilate the food, and then it's distributed. It's the most miraculous thing that you can actually do that and have it go exactly where it's supposed to go in exactly the right amount and broken down in just exactly the right way. So that's true with the experiences too. You want to be able to have things come into your environment, the people, the experiences, and you want to be able to assimilate them, digest them, and then distribute them in a proper way. So you're able to have things happen to you and react in the right way. So it's not you digesting something and you take it into wrong action. So the stretch pose, you come lying down again on your back. The legs are together, toes are pointed down towards, like you're trying to point the toes towards the front of the room. So there's a flex downward with the feet. Remember, the heels are together. And you're gonna be lifting the heels up off the floor 6 inches and the head up 6 inches. Don't do it yet, I'm gonna explain a little more. For the people that have compromised backs, you wanna go back to that idea of putting the hands underneath the lower part of the buttocks to give yourself support. The people that feel strong, want to do it in the way that's prescribed, you lift your arms up a little bit and you point the fingers down towards your toes. So they're like parallel to the floor, pointing down to the toes. The head comes up 6 inches, the feet are up 6 inches, and you're looking straight down at your big toes. Okay, let's try to get in that position and begin. And you do the breath of fire with us. You pump the navel point. And pumping the navel point is pushing that chi into the digestion. Breath of fire is a very good digestive chi builder because we're pumping the navel, pumping the belly. We'll just do this for a little while. Inhale deeply, exhale, and come out of the posture and relax for a second. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have you do it a few times so we can achieve the same amount of time. So I want you to come back into position, come up, and begin that breath of fire. It doesn't have to be done perfectly. If you just move your legs in that direction with your abdominal muscles, you're doing the same thing, whether you can do it or not. It's the intention and the pushing the muscles in that direction. Another 10 seconds. Now drop your legs down and relax again. Drop your legs down, relax. Great. Relax on your back. We'll do that one more time. Come back into position, up, and begin rapid breath of fire for just 30 seconds. Breathe powerfully. 6 inches up with your head, 6 inches up with the feet. Look at your toes, arms pointed down towards your toes. This is congealing that energy in the belly, pulling it in. Inhale, exhale, relax. Totally relax. Corpse pose and relax. Breathe long, slow, and deep. The next exercise is ideally bow pose. I'm going to give various variations so people that can't get into the position exactly the way it's prescribed. So the bow pose is you're lying on your belly, head facing towards me. You bend your legs so you're grabbing your ankles from behind with your hands clasping firmly on the ankles. And then you push yourself up. You use your arms as kind of a bow, and you push yourself up into arch. You're arching up, and you begin that rapid breath of fire again. Rapid breath. The second variation is you come into cobra pose, if you know that. The third variation is the sphinx pose, where you put your elbows on the floor and you arch your back, putting the stretch into the groin area and belly area. So this is a stretch of the meridians in the belly and the groin. We'll just be doing this for a little while. Breath of fire. About a half a minute to go. Keep up. Do the best you can. Don't hurt yourself. You know, it's really about you working for you. There's nothing to prove except to help yourself. The more effort you put into it, though, the more you get out of it. Inhale deeply, hold the breath. Slowly come out of the posture and turn your head to the side. Arms are down by your side, palms facing up. So you're coming out of the posture, lying down, head to the side, palms facing up. So we did all these crunches in the first part of the belly strengthening and abdominal strengthening exercises. Now we're going to do the opposite direction. With yoga, you want to go one direction and the opposite direction to balance things out. Yoga is about balance. So is Chinese medicine. It's about balance. Yin and yang is the symbol of balance. You know, not too much yin, not too much yang, right in the center. When things get diseased is when that yin and yang is out of balance. That you have too much yin, too much yang, and then things go wrong. The next exercise, ideally, is the wheel pose. And I'll give the explanation of the wheel pose, and we'll give the variations. It takes somebody that's been doing, it's for the yogis that are used to doing, yoga and that kind of vigorous activity. The wheel pose is you bring your legs up so your feet are flat on the floor. You put your hands behind you so that your palms are down, your fingers are facing towards your shoulders. Your arms are straight. And you're pushing up into arch. And people are going to be able to do this. I don't know how to explain it. Because if you can do it, you've done it before. So, breath of fire. If you can't do bow pose, have the feet on the floor, grab your ankles and push your hips up towards the ceiling. If you can't grab the ankles, just push your hips up toward the ceiling. So you're coming up on your shoulders and neck, and the hips are off the floor, and you're pushing like you're trying to touch your hips towards the ceiling, pushing that direction. It doesn't matter if you can do that arch, it just matters if you push in that direction, because that does the job. And breathe, breath of fire, powerful breath, rapid breath in the belly, right in the belly. Energize that navel center, that chi in the belly, fire in the belly. Yeah, if you have props, you can use them. It's not, whatever works. And if you need to, some people use a towel around their ankles to do the other one where you're pushing your hips up. Props are always good. They're there for a reason. Continue the breath a little while longer. 10 seconds. Just 10 more seconds. And slowly exhale, relax down. Totally relax. The last exercise, very simple. You bring your legs into either full lotus. If you can bring your legs into full lotus, do that. And we can do the exercise that way. And I'll explain how you do it in the full lotus. Full lotus, if you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. If you can do it, you generally know what it is. So I'll just leave it at that. When you go into full lotus, when you're lying down on your back, you grab your toes on each side with your fingers. And when you grab your toes, you arch your back up and you put the top of your head on the floor. This is called fish pose. If you've done hatha yoga, you know this. Fish pose. If you can't do that, you just cross your legs and you just lie back. And that's all you have to do, is just lie back. And then if you can, arch your hips up towards your belly up towards the ceiling to put that flex in the hips. And breathe long and deep. And then after you breathe long and deep a little while, go into breath of fire again. We want to do the breath of fire because when you get that chi really vital in your belly. So obviously we're stretching the groin area, we're stretching the belly. When we lift our chest up and our middle part of back up like that, we're stretching the area related to the back shu for the stomach and spleen. The nerve ganglion that come off the spine that relate to those organ systems are energy centers for those organ systems. So you're stretching and condensing the energy right there. Just about 20 more seconds. You're doing great. Inhale deeply, exhale, relax, extend your legs out. We'll do a little bit of relaxation. Totally relax. And this is a final relaxation. So you want to really allow yourself to let go. Allow your body to sink into the floor. Allow that passive distribution of energy that's going to happen if you completely relax. If you're tense or you feel uncomfortable, you need to move around till you become comfortable so that energy can flow. And just tell yourself to relax, 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 relax. Any tension, just let it go, let it go, let it go. You've done the work. Now is the time to reap the rewards.
Oh, that text I got? Okay, I'll text you right now. Okay.
Now slowly bring yourself back to the conscious state. Come back, come back, come back. And then rotate your wrists around in circles and your ankles around in circles. Come back, come back, come back. And rub the palms together, soles of the feet together, bring some heat into the palms and soles. Activate the mind. Remember the palms related to the mind, so you're activating the mind when you rub the palms together. And then roll back and forth on your back so you come up sitting straight. And if you have that bowl of food, bring it out and put it right in front of you where you can have arm length access to it. And if you don't have something, you just go in the kitchen, pull out some raisins or whatever you have available, readily available, that you can put in a bite-sized form. So when I was thinking about doing a meditation and assignment for the class, and both the meditation and the assignment, I was thinking about the digestion and the problem with digestion in the present era. That there's people that spend much money at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and other health food venues to get the best, most organic, most nutritionally packed thing you can think of. But when they get home, they throw it together, they cook real quick, and then they eat it real quick, and they're multitasking, and they're on the phone, and they're watching TV, and they're talking to somebody, and the last thing they think of is that actually what they're doing, which is eating. So without that process, I think the digestion is compromised, and I want to maybe not have people do that every time they eat, but get the consciousness of that. That is the idea. Is you want to have consciousness or mindfulness as you eat. A mindful presence as you eat. And the first thing we do when we eat was we cook. We want to cook something, and we put love into the cooking. We love what we're doing. We find it a creative activity. We enjoy the process of creativity. And that puts energy, that kind of energy in the food. You actually, I've had food that was not consciously prepared. I had food that was lovingly prepared, and they taste completely different. The way you feel when you taste it is completely different, and it is very palpable. So you lovingly prepare the food. You lovingly in the way of you enjoy the fact that you're creating something really special and really delectable. And the next phase is you have the food in front of you. And one of the things people do often in our cultures, because they're in a tight schedule, they eat fast. They don't chew very well. They just get it down, get on with it. Food in their mouth and do it for a longer time. And what happens with that process is we're going to mix the saliva thoroughly into the food. And that enzyme that's in the saliva is called amylase. And that's the first line of digestion. That starts to break the food down. You want to start to break that food down. The more it's broken down, remember you assimilate by breaking it down, and then you distribute it effectively by having good, solid, nutritional food. That's the first part. And then the next part is that you think as you're doing it of what it took for that food to get on your table from the farm to your table. The farmer, especially if it's an organic farm, he's taking pride in the farming. He's taking care. He has a vision of bringing you good, healthy food, and he's putting work and sacrifice into that food to bring it to you. You want to think about that. Bring your mind to that idea that the sacrifice and the effort that went into actually growing the food to bring it to you. And then the next part is that there's something that drives the food to you. And that's what you're doing while you're chewing. The transportation, the person that has a job to bring that food to the store, and then the store, if they're a conscious store, they want to provide you with good, healthy food. And they do the work to do that. And they work hard to give you the best food they can. Think about the sacrifice and what effort it takes to get there so you can be nourished and healthy, okay? So the next part is when you actually swallow, then for a moment you want to think, okay, I'm going to focus on my digestion and bring your thoughts there. You can close your eyes. In fact, you can close your eyes throughout this as soon as you get the food in your mouth. Close your eyes and see that food going down there and being digested very efficiently, very effectively, and very nutritionally nurturing yourself. We want to nurture that food and through your digestive system. So that's the last part of it. So let's take a piece of food, place it in our mouth, and then you can go ahead and do that. Take that first piece, put it in your mouth, and just start to chew and close your eyes. So you're taking that food, putting it in your mouth, start to chew the food, and then think about the people that are involved in the sacrifice of that food coming to you and putting it in your mouth. Slowly, carefully, and feel the saliva. We'll do this for a little while. Keep your mind on the chewing process and also the taste. The taste will change when the saliva mixes with the food. It actually changes the flavor. If you're really sensitive, you can actually tell the difference as you chew. It makes it sweeter and more mellow. Okay, you can swallow and just watch it go down and bring your mind to your digestion. Bring your focus there, like a meditation, mindfulness meditation, and see your digestive tract processing that food, taking it down to its elements, and distributing it to all the different parts of your body that need nourishment. And when you're done with that, after a minute or so, I'll keep that. I'll give you the cue, and we'll do it again. Okay, now take another piece of food and start the process again. And I'll lead you through it next time, and then you'll do it yourself for a few times. So you put the food in your mouth, start to chew, and feel that saliva mixing with the food. This is all mindfulness meditation. This is the in thing right now. You're focused on what you're actually doing, not other things. Great. Now you can swallow the food and watch the food go down, and then imagine the food being broken down and distributed in a very healthy way, very effective way. So you have energy, healthy immune system. And then take another bite of food. One more time. This is the last time. And begin the process again, chewing the food, thinking about who brought it to you, the sacrifice, the work it took to bring it to you, the care of making sure it's healthy to bring to your table. The care you did to prepare the food and the love, the sharing of the food with others. Mindful. And we'll do it one last time. Grab a piece of food, pick it up and put it in your mouth. Actually, you swallowed it, yeah, sorry. Just begin the process over again. You know the process, just do it one more time. Chew, Focus on the chewing. Swallow. Focus on the digestion. And when you finish chewing and digesting, you can take a deep inhale. Anyway, and we'll send that out to you so you know exactly what to do. And you also got what you need to do as far as your focus, to focus on the process of actually being aware of what you're doing, actually doing. So you're not having a phone on. We're going to have you do this, if you can, once a day. It doesn't have to be a big meal. It could be a small bowl of fruit like this, or it could be a full meal. But through the whole meal, you do this. Just once a day. If you can't do it once a day, if you're scheduled, just do as much as you can. And then you write down your experience. What was your experience with this? Did it change your mind or change your attitude towards how you eat food? That sort of thing. So it's I think it's one of the areas that we have, because of our busy lifestyles, we really skimped on the actual. We go to great length and great expense to get the most organic, the best food in the world. But we have so many distractions as we're eating, we're not really doing it. We're not really experiencing it fully. And as my mentor, Chinese medicine teacher said, if you don't cook, you can't be healthy. It's like with exercise. If you don't exercise, you can't be healthy. It's just as simple as that. Because you have to have that whole process for it to be healthy. You don't have to cook yourself, but you have to have somebody in your household that you are associated with. You know what's going on. You know the creative process, and you appreciate that process. And that allows you to be fully present as you eat and appreciate what you're eating. So it's really, I think it's one of the things that in natural health or healthcare in general, people just don't talk about. How we eat, the mindfulness as we eat, the idea of not having distractions as we eat. Talking in pleasant conversation, that's a different thing. But if you're on the phone and you're watching TV and you're watching the kids and you're talking to your neighbor and all that is not, you're not eating. You're chewing, you're swallowing, but you're not eating. You're not digesting what you're taking in. You're not conceptualizing, which is digestion. You're not assimilating, because that's knowing what you're doing. So that's the assignment, and I will send it out. I think it might be already sent out. I'm not sure, but it's going to be sent out soon. And thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to do this. I really enjoy bringing this side of healing into the realm of yoga. I'm sure there's other people doing this, but I think that I feel like it's my mission as far as teaching to sort of meld the two ideas together and give you a real sense of the energetics behind what's going on and all the nuances of yoga. And yoga is not just doing postures. Many of you know this already, but it's a lifestyle. It's bringing the yoga. Yoking yourself to your inner self, to your true self, to the reality of the reality. And that encompasses everything you do, from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, and even as you sleep. That's the yogi that takes all that in and is conscious, mindful of what you do. Okay? Sat Nam, great to work with you. And rub your palms together, bring that heart energy in. The mind energy. So you can focus your mind.
I thought it's to 9 o'clock. It's to 9 o'clock?
Connect to 17. Eyes are closed, focus within. And we'll be chanting May the long time sun shine. You just listen if you don't know it, and eventually you'll get it. So inhale deeply. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. And last thing we do is we would chant Satnam, which means I unite with my own truth. Satnam. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you next time, next Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Waheguru.
Dean,
I guess you're
I
still
have
there.
a
Push
Thank
in,
you.
it's not stopping.
question. I have a quick question.
Hi.
Was the stomach point that stored the energy?
See somebody I know there. Great. Glad you all came. And I'm not sure how to turn this off. It says end, but it doesn't.
Did you
Oh,
hear
actually,
the
I see. It's the. I'm used to the.
Did you hear the question that
format.
she asked?
Okay.
Jean.
Well,
Jean.
thank you very much. Bye bye.